Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I kind of want to get a bit serious at the start of this video. Um, there's something that, happened recently that I want to address. Normally we start these videos with the title sequence and whatnot, and we joke around a lot on this channel, maybe too much at some points, especially on this show. I do want to address something that happened last week. I wanted to do it here. I talked to a lot of my friends about it, and they said it might be a good topic of conversation for the channel. So this particular incident happened on a plane, ladies and gentlemen, a couple of weeks ago. It doesn't matter where I was going, but it was a relatively short flight. But it was only a couple of hours, but those hours was like over lunch period. I was in the aisle seat, which is normally my favorite seat, everyone. I like the idea of having space next to me where even though I can't put my feet there, it's still like, it's comforting. Except for like overnight planes, then I prefer the window to like lean my head against the wall to sleep. But I'm getting sidetracked because I do that when I'm like trying to confront something. Flight attendant staff, they're coming down, and they asked me first, which I didn't know they normally did, but they asked me what do I want? Do I want the meat option or the vegetarian option? And regrettably, everyone, I am a meat eater, so I did go for the beef ragu option, or what was attempted beef ragu. And it was an early morning flight, and I hadn't ate a lot that day, and I hadn't had breakfast. I got to the airport at like 9. The flight was like 11, so yeah, I slept in, so I missed breakfast. So I was really hungry. I start eating this food, and it just happened, I just sat back and I just thought, what's the deal with airline food? I mean, why is it so bad? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Double O Late Night Show. Roll the title sequence. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Double O Late Night Show. Sorry about that little joke at the start. I just thought of it and I thought it'd be funny to try and act all serious and then just do a what's the deal with airline food? I know a lot of people probably caught on to the fact I was going to do one of those when I brought up the plane. I don't know why what's the deal with airline food has really stuck with me as an inside joke within my circles. But I say it a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Leaving conversations, entering a conversation in the middle of an awkward pause. It's just a perfect phrase to say at any time. Whenever I'm handed a mic, everyone knows saying what's the deal with airline food is the classic cliche line to say in stand-up comedy. But the thing about that joke with me though, ladies and gentlemen, is that I say it so much. The fact that I say it so much is more of the joke than me just saying it satirically. Talking about my sense of humor, ladies and gentlemen, I branded my sense of humor, I think, in my head. But I was at a party a couple nights ago. We were playing cards, and I did this classic card trick where, I shuffle the cards, tell someone to pick a card, give them the deck, let them put it in the deck wherever they want, I go on a 5-minute rant basically on how I'm going to do the trick and how I'm going to find the card. And I tell them to turn around, and I just do one of these and say, is this your card? So when they turn around, it's just like in their face. The whole room laughs at them. It's great. It's a great time. I'm a great friend. I am a shotgun joker, ladies and gentlemen. And I know what you're thinking, Owen, what does that mean? Well, just like a shotgun, I like fire multiple jokes at a time. I'm firing like 50 jokes at once, Maybe if I'm lucky, 60% will land. And just like a shotgun as well, I'm going off like video game logic, by the way. I've never fired a real shotgun. Just like a shotgun, my jokes work best at close range, And I'm not just talking about distance from the person, though that helps. It's more for how close I am to a person personally. I don't know if you can tell, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm also rather hungover this morning, actually recording this late night show. I mean, it's not this morning, it's late. It's the evening. I went to the Diva Down X Fog Bandits gig last night, ladies and gentlemen. There were some other bands as well, shout out to them. It was a great gig all around. I swear the whole Glasgow music scene were there. I kept there's 15 minutes in between sets. And that was not enough time for me to run around and talk to everyone, I kept having to say hi to people and be like, fuck, I gotta go run over here. And oh my god. It was a great night though. Definitely top 15 nights of my life. Top 20 at least. Okay, it was an amazing night. Fog Bandits, incredible band, incredible. So cool on stage. Like, in my head it was so funny because like they were so chill on the couch, you know, especially like Nico and stuff was like, he was just so chill on the couch. And then when I saw him on stage, I was like, who is this guy? He was popping off, bro. It was incredible. And of course, my divas, you know, so good, bro. What a great set. What a great set. They just keep getting better and better, you know. You know, I can't wait for, you know, 15 years down the line, whatever. When they're playing Glastonbury and my kids turn to me and go like, oh dad, can we go see Diva Down? And I'm gonna turn to my kids and go, Diva Down, you say? I used to know that band. Me and Alex from Diva Down were thinking of starting a podcast, everyone. Which of course would make that like my 5th show. It would be called Double Down. Pretty, you know, Diva Down, Double Low, Double Down. But I think there's already a couple of podcasts called that, so we might have to, you know, think of another name. Going out with the boys tonight, actually. It was very emotional recently with the boys, ladies and gentlemen. This is actually kind of serious, okay? Good friend of the channel, good friend of the show, Connor, who was of course in the Christmas special. He was just doing an internship for 6 weeks in China. And he, like this Tuesday, just came back on Tuesday, you know? It was a great time, you know, the boys were celebrating, we went out, we partied, it was great, you know? But at the same time, I was going out that night was not only a welcoming back for Connor, it was also very bittersweet, ladies and gentlemen, because Sandy, good friend of the channel, he is going away to America for a year, ladies and gentlemen. It was very brutal to, you know, have one boy join as we're saying goodbye to another. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, one last thing before I go. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been on the channel, you know I love Oasis, and my local supermarché has just been stocking this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. You know, 1.5 liters of Oasis citrus punch, ladies and gentlemen. It's incredible. This has like been, you know, this is my 2nd bottle. Okay, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week.